So today I will be talking about my most recent painting. So if you look at the piece, you are going to see three men, and these men are holding I think it's called a sledgehammer. I think that's what it's called, a sledgehammer. And what they are doing is that they are tearing down a building, an old building. Now, if you live in Abuja for a long time, one thing that is constant in Abuja is the tearing down and building of a new building. So this building they are tearing down is somewhere around Wuse axis, and it used to be a plaza. Now, after they brought it down, they have built another plaza on that particular plaza, and there was a tree behind, but that tree is no longer there because it was cut down. So why is my focus on these guys? So now when you enter a new building, what do you see? First of all, you are wowed by the structure, the beauty, but you just see the building, but you don't see the work that happened to make that building possible. In Abuja today, you go to a nice building, these guys are the reason behind it. And to be honest, I think that these people should actually be the ones writing about financial books, because how can you survive on less than 1,000 naira a day? But that is what these guys are doing. They're actually doing miracle work, too, in my opinion. And so I have had the privilege to talk to some of these guys, and it will surprise you to know that some of them are actually graduates. Some of them have finished school, and because of the situation of the country, this is the work they find themselves doing. Some of them are married men, some of them have children. So from this, they will feed themselves and they will feed their family. These guys are not really paid well, and many times they are used and abused. So my focus is really on them today, and please, if you see them on the streets, please try to support them, because it's not easy for them. So where should you hang this art piece? Now, this art piece should be hung in a school administrative building. When people are in school, they have this really big perspective about when they finish school, how they're going to achieve this and that. Everybody wants to be a rich man, but let's tell ourselves the truth. Not everybody that goes to school will end up being an Otedola or a Dangote, or you know life happens. And when you have this kind of like high perspective about life and after school and this, and then your expectations is diminished with the reality of life, then you can find yourself being in a situation where you cannot even bring yourself so low and humble to do a work like this. So some people end up being like terrorists, or they rather be terrorists, they will rather do yahoo, they will rather steal than bring themselves to do simple humble jobs like this. These guys they have they have moral standard. They would rather do this than for them to steal or be a nuisance to society. And this is what I respect so much about these people who do this kind of work. Also, this piece should also be hung in homes where there are lots of maybe if you're a parent and your children are a bit lazy and they don't want to push themselves, or if someone in the house is depressed and he cannot bring himself up to do something. This piece could be hung there for the person, like a reminder, to show them that, look, no matter what you're going through in life, you can always pick yourself up and start from where you are. So yeah, this is the message of this painting. Also, this piece can also be hung in an office, in the manager's office, or somewhere, someone rich or someone big, to also remember that life can happen to anybody. No matter what your circumstances, no matter how much your wealth is, things can just crumble. The people that have the wars in their country that they are having wars, some of them used to be really, really rich. But because of the war, look at the condition of them now. So life is in stages and it changes. So never look down on any occupation, especially when it is a modest one like this. So yeah, thank you for listening, and this is the message behind this painting.